Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Week 7 action of the Alpha Touring Challenge here at Road Atlanta, the full course brought to you by CAVOK Racing Network. Looking forward to a absolute barn burner here tonight. We've got a 2.54 mile course with 12 turns and a sprint setup. This is one of my favorite setups that the Alpha Touring Challenge does, and it really separates them from the pack here. We're going to be doing basically a couple short races followed by a feature race where we're going to invert the top four, and man, that just adds so much spice and interest to the entire evening. So let's get back to it. Joining me tonight in the broadcast booth is Peter Lee. Peter, how's it going tonight?
It's going great. Really looking forward to this. Road Atlanta's all-time favorite for a lot of drivers, myself included, but we've been hearing all week on the Discord for this league how people are just loving this track.
Yeah, absolutely one of my favorites. When I got into road racing, had not even really heard of it, to be honest with you. But once I got racing it once, I think it was an endurance race, to be honest with you, and got used to it. Man, this track just bumps, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. And these cars on this track, I think this is going to be absolute fantastic combination. Also joining us in the booth tonight, him. Man, running the cameras and the overlays. You got to be excited for this too. I'm looking forward to seeing what the camera angles you have for us tonight.
Well, there's one extra thing over here. Thank you very much, because it is Road Atlanta, so it's a home track for me. I'll be honest with you, since pandemic, I haven't been there at all. But it's great to be here virtual. We do have some really nice cameras. I am looking forward to the night. We've seen in the practice what some great images can occur. But it's gonna be tight. We have quite a good race going on. We also have our championship. Do you know who is still the leader?
Man, show it to me, man. Let's bring up those championship standings because this one's going to be tight. In addition, we've got a lot of drivers out there on the grid. So Logan McKenzie looks like he's going to be trying to hold on to his lead over Francois Schenck there in second place. I want to call it a comfortable lead because anything can happen, and certainly in these sprint type races we're awarding points for each heat. Nothing's for sure, but yeah, holy cow, Logan McKenzie, last season's champion, holding strong right now. Jerome Bajouliz is holding serve there in third place with the slug, just behind him in fourth. James Carr putting on a show here in fifth place overall. Matt Shepka, also, who we're proud of, fellow SNS member, in sixth place there. He's really showing up. And then Cody Hunley, Wojciech Sordovich, Jacob Wally, David Bauer, Justin Rhodes, Ronald Methot, Aaron Law, and Sean Gerd. These are all drivers to watch. And like Peter likes to say, races within races, because every single position counts for a lot of these drivers as they're trying to advance in the standings.
Absolutely, Chris. And, it seems like Logan McKenzie has a comfortable lead, but, we actually have 3 races tonight. There are 2 sprints where first place earns 20 points. And then the feature, a 30-minute feature with 1 pit stop, which is worth 25 points for the winner. So a lot of points up for grabs. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I want to have a look at the team standings, because that's the other part in here. If you say a race in a race, well, there's a race in a race in a race. Because we also have the team standings, and it's impressive to see how Yellow Flag Motorsport is really comfortable in that lead. I'm not sure if they're already celebrating the championship, but they are way ahead. It's a little bit... I want to say the Red Bulls of this ATC up here. And then you have Torque Steer Racing that follows behind, but they're in a close battle with Caspera Motorsports. And then we have Beaver Buzz, and I do want to call them out because it is Beaver Buzz team, but it's Bajulas who holds the fort and is getting those 250 points all by himself. So very impressive. I hope his teammate will be soon back. I've heard that he's coming back next race, so that will give him some relief. And then we see on the 5th position, Blue Flag Motorsport. There are some teams behind there, but they're not really going in for this championship. So I think it's these 5 that can actually make a difference.
I think you're right, Pim. It's true. Yellow Flag Motorsports is so powerfully in the lead right now, and that's the team of the Slugnificent, and Logan McKenzie at the top. But we have a soft spot in our hearts for Torquester Racing because these are crossover drivers from the Sunday Night Skippy League: Jake Ashe, Ray Bartnikowski, Aaron Law, and Matt Shepka. And so, there's a part of us, I think, Pim, at least for you, me, and Chris, that are pulling for these guys to get out a good result tonight.
Yeah, I can't agree with that more. And speaking of which, we are getting ready to grid here. We've got a lot of drivers. 33 are going to make the grid here tonight at Road Atlanta. And we're backing up all the way down to the final chicane here. Looks like we're going to do a short pacing lap. But congratulations there to Jorge Zuniga on the pole for this very first sprint race. Wojciech Swirdowicz on the outside pole there in the 80 car. Slug and James Carr will start just behind them, and you can continue to scroll down there through the names. But really healthy grid here for the Alpha Touring Challenge, and this is going to add to a ton of excitement. Let's do a quick review here. I did mention that we're going to do some heat racing tonight. It's going to be 2 15-minute heats. We are going to award points at the end of each heat. So 2 15-minute races, or 20 laps. 15-minute races. Sorry. And then we're going to invert the top 4 going into the feature race, which is going to be a 30-minute race. Nope. Unregard that. We're going to have a heat first. I don't even know what I'm talking about, Peter. Help me out here. We've got a heat race. We're going to invert the top 4 for the second heat race, and then we're going to invert the top 8 going into the feature race. I know what I'm talking about.
Chris, we're going to have fun. A lot of racing, a lot of close racing.
That's all we're talking about.
Very excited.
I don't know what we're doing here, folks. I do apologize, but it does look like and here's the other thing: we're not going to do a short formation lap. We're going to do a long one. We're going to go all the way around. So I'm wrong on all accounts. Yeah.
It is a full lap around this 2.5-mile road course. This road course has everything. It has steep hills up and down. As they come up this first hill, they crest right at the top of the hill and have to just veer down these S's going down the hill. It's one of the most thrilling roller coaster rides, I think, for any road racer.
Yeah, and this is kind of what this section of turns right here is what really gets you about Road Atlanta. You can see the leaders at least come through these chicanes. You basically crest a hill, and then you're going down a hill, going through all these left, right, and then you got to make this left-hand turn right there, which we're going through right now. That's going to be
some wrecks there on that left. That's the infamous turn 5. That claimed many cars, and it'll be very surprising if we don't see a wreck or two there tonight.
100%. And this is kind of a double apex turn. It's not a hairpin per se, but obviously you can see there's 2 very distinct right-handers, and then it's a very long backstretch here. Technically, I suppose there's turn 8 and turn 9, but I mean, you'd be forgiven if you didn't know exactly where those turns were, because they're just like little kinks in the road per se. And then you're basically gonna go up another hill and then down into turn 10A and 10B, which is a chicane essentially. And this is going to be an area where we're probably going to see a lot of passing or attempts at passing. And if you don't get it just right, oh boy, you're in trouble.
This is the braking here from the top gear all the way down to the bottom gear. Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
And we'll see who the bravest drivers are right there.
For sure. Well, we're going to go down here on turn 11. You kind of go up the little hill. It's a kind of a blind corner as the pace car is off now. And the drivers are already off. Look at this. We got green flag racing. And here we go. And we're already going 3 wide just behind the leader. Our Swirdovich and Slugnificent, they're able to sort it out just a little bit. Oh, and we got touching. Oh my goodness.
Well, it'll take a little while for the tires to warm up as they come down. This is incredibly slick. This right, left, left. And this first serious danger zone, this left-hander turn 5. We'll see if the cars can tiptoe through here on their cold tires.
And we've got a couple of cars off.
Yeah, Aaron Law
Statzer.
Yes. Yeah, Eric Statzer, David Bauer, Aaron Law. As we had predicted, someone was going to get cut out in turn 5, and we've got our first 3 victims.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Meanwhile, back up front, the Wojciech Swirdovich in position 2 is just right on the bumper of Jorge Zuniga, and we're going to see perhaps the first attempt at outbraking to make a pass as they come to this chicane.
I do believe that is actually the slug there with Wojciech Swirdovich in 3rd place watching on.
You're right. Yes.
Great racing here. Slugnificent is going to take the lead away from Jorge, and they're going to sort themselves out here single file. Yep, there you go. Nothing more to say about that. That's exactly what happened. A little further back, we've got Matt Shepka holding his position there, P8. Right behind him, Alexander Carver Robbins up 5 spots right now, and you'd think that was probably the hard charger with Girk and Demir right behind him. Looks like they are teammates with very similar paint schemes. As Gherkin, oh no, Gherkin's gonna go off the track.
Oh.
And behind them, P17, we've got 2x2 racing coming around there. Turn 5, that left-hander, Peter, that we've been talking about. I mean, just adding to the drama. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, that, at least for me, turn 5 is the one that terrifies me every single time. I think I've never felt comfortable there, and we're seeing these cars struggle. I think they will get more in the groove as their tires warm up. But you're right, that battle for now P16, which I think is being held by Nick Beaver, is just 2x2. Nick Beaver, Sean Gerd, Justin Rhodes, Ray Barnikowski is going 2x2 as they enter into the turn 10 chicane. They manage to go through their single file. So they are being careful, but absolutely they're trying to outbrake each other every time around that long back straight.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jacob Wally now owns the fastest lap of the evening, all the way back there in P13. He's up 8 spots, so great job. We do look like we have a crash. Justin Rhodes coming across the start-finish line was going 3 wide, and there just ran out of room, unfortunately, with some other drivers there, but going to get some contact and continue on. Again, heat racing, so he's going to have another chance at this.
Right. And, this first sprint is set up just like the Formula One sprint races. The finishing order here awards points and sets the starting grid order for the second sprint with the top 4 inverted. There's a pretty pitched battle for P18 right now, and that is being held at the moment by, I believe, Brandon Shelton. And as you look, he's managing to pull out a little bit of a more comfortable lead over Sean Gerd and JB Dejoux. But you can just see in the braking zone for that turn 10 chicane, just how things close up.
Yeah, really proud there, Brandon Shelton. He is a Bonfire Racing League veteran coming over here to ATC to get his feet wet in the road racing. It does look like Sean Gerd is going to try to move on the inside there, come down into turn 1. Once these tires warm up, that's a really fun turn, but until that point, that's a very not fun turn. And It does look like JB Joe was gonna try to make the move that was opened up there by the attempted pass there on Brent Shelton, but everybody's gonna be able to sort themselves out. Yeah, really great run there by the 24 car, up 8 spots. Just ahead of him, I want to make sure we do have a Nick Beavers fan in the house, and he not only has the purple lap of the evening, but he's also a hard charger right now, up 11 spots in P16. It looks like he's going to take one more away. Oh, no, wait, that was not a race for position. All right, anyway, that 10 car looking really great tonight.
Oh, he's having a great race. Meanwhile, back up front, things have just stayed super tight. The slog continues to hold the lead, but Wojciech Strojdovich in P2, Jorge Zuniga, James Carr, Jerome Bajulas, Logan McKenzie, just all in that kind of tight 6-car train. And in fact, Francois Schink makes it 7.
Well, and back to the P19 battle there. I know we were just talking about it, but holy cow, these guys going toe-to-toe. JB DeJode, Brandon Shelton, and Andrew Little in the 68 working his way up. Oh, my goodness. I cannot believe how these drivers are keeping this so clean. Brandon Shelton's going to get the run up the hill and down over the chicane there and have a fantastic exit. Going to gain a little bit of separation there to Andrew.
Your shout out there, Chris, to Brandon Shelton. He's an oval specialist, but man, since joining this league, his road racing skills and racecraft have just improved by leaps and bounds. And taking that outside line in turn 1, which gives him the inside preferred position for turn 2 and that roller coaster downhill. It just showed he's not only getting some speed out here in a road car, but he's getting smart racecraft-wise.
Absolutely, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with come road racing time there at the Bonfire Racing League on Sunday mornings. And back up front, Slugnificent is leading the race, and these drivers are all basically under a blanket here. We got Wojciech and Jorge really just kind of sharing a bumper for the moment and trying to work their way back up to Slug. James Carr just behind them is going to take over the purple lap of the evening with a 129.118. So he's not out of this win conversation as well.
I'm having fun watching this battle for P10. Ronald Methot right now is holding it down, but he's under extreme pressure from Wiley Cox and Gurkan Demir right now. Really holding his own well. And in fact, out of that turn 5, dangerous turn 5, he and Wiley Cox have managed to gap themselves to Gurkan. Although, the draft is so strong in these cars on this back straight. If you weren't within that draft zone, you can really catch right back up.
Yeah, definitely wanted to make sure that we highlighted how long that back straight was. And by the way, it ends in a heavy braking zone as the leaders are taking it down into the chicane. They're going to go side by side with Wojciech and Slug. Oh my goodness. Jorge going to look to the inside now. Might have a great run here. James Carr kind of waiting in the wings for his opportunity. Oh, James Carr's going to get loose. Jerome Bajulas is going to pass him. Although James able to basically collect it. He's going to lose a couple spots, but no contact, no worse for the wear there. Meanwhile, look at this. Slug going to the outside as they go up the hill, down the hill, through the chicane.
What's going to happen as they come down to turn 5? Oh, man.
They look like they mated cars there for just a little bit. I'm not sure. Maybe it was. There's been some weird netcode things with iRacing for the past few weeks. I don't know if that's just my computer or if the drivers are seeing that too. But those two cars, I think, are legally married now.
Yeah, they did a little bit more than swap paint.
I think there's a Spice Girls song about two becoming one. I'm not sure if that applies here, but Yeah, Slug's going to take the lead and lead us down that back stretch into the turn 10 chicane.
Well, and
Meanwhile, P11, Gherkin Demir and Wiley Cox. Wiley's going to make it too wide going down into that chicane, and they're going to make contact. Yeah, that was never going to work. That was never going to work. It does look like they're able to at least save the cars. Let's see if they can get back on track.
yeah,
Probably going to be serving some slowdown penalties.
Yeah, for sure. If he doesn't, then I'm going to have to make use of that the next time.
Right, yeah. Mental note, I suppose.
Well, back to that Gherkin Demir and Nick Beaver battle. They are just nose to tail. And, as they're coming around, this is the battle for P13 to this turn 5. It looks like in these sections here, Gherkin's able to hold his own, but then Nick just closes up as soon as he gets on the straight. And here we see Gherkin taking a
good
tight defensive line as they come to turn 6.
Yeah, that was a great defensive line. He was giving him no quarter whatsoever, able to hold off Nick for just a little bit, but...
Now, the problem here, if you're Gherkin Demir, is you have a long time to think about what might happen to you as you come to turn 10.
Yep. And to your point there, Peter, this is a great drafting zone, so I guarantee you, before we get all the way down to turn 10, look at this, the run that Nick is going to have. What's he going to do with it? That's good. They started to trip out. Back up to the front. They're crossing the start-finish line. We got a battle for the lead here as Jorge is trying to make his way around Slug. He does. Wojciech was thinking about making the move there as well. Thought better of it, backed out, and there you go. Jorge Zuniga is your current leader in that 11 car. As let's see, 2.5 minutes remain in this first sprint race.
Yeah, I think with that time remaining, I think the next time around these leaders will receive the white flag for this first sprint. The really interesting driver in this lead pack is Jerome Bajulas. And week to week, we're never sure if we're going to see the naked aggression version of Jerome Bajulas or the finesse and patient version of Jerome. And you can just see him, maybe the gears are turning in his head, just trying to figure out what to do.
Well, Slugnificent's going to take the lead back here. And once again, Wojciech's going to try to take advantage of that. They're going to go 3 wide down into the 10 chicane. They're all going to make contact. Oh, man.
Wojciech Sorojevic was really the loser in that 3 wide situation. But for sure, there's no way 3 wide can go through that chicane at speed.
I mean, goodness.
And so the drivers did receive the white flag, so this is the last lap of this first sprint. Quick update on that battle for P13. Nick Beaver did manage to get past Gherkin Demir, so Nick is in P13, Gherkin Demir in P14, August Blundell in P15. But really all eyes right now are on this lead pack. And this back straight as they enter, this is the last opportunity, the last chance to get a dive on the inside to turn 10.
Yeah, agreed. And man, Jorge just kind of walking away with it right now, but we do have some great racing here side by side with James Carr in P5. This is the battle for the top 5 spot here. Francois Schenk trying to make an issue of it. He's going to have that inside line as they heavily break down. Not going to be able to make the pass though. And Wojcik, after going off track there, still having some trouble, but we are going to take the checkered flag as Jorge gets the win there. Jerome, Slug, Logan, James Carr, Francois Schenk, and let's see who else. So yeah, Wojcik, Alexander Carver-Robbins, Math Shepka, Ronald Mathot. They're going to be your top 10 there, and so we'll reset. We'll rack them, stack them for the second heat. We're going to please don't listen to anything that I said before. For this one, we are going to invert the top 4, meaning that Logan McKenzie is going to start on the pole for this one, followed by Slug, Jerome, and then Jorge. So they will get the points, but they're going to invert the top 4. Going after this race, this 15-minute race, we're going to actually invert the top 8. So keep that in mind as you watch the race go on. Whoever's in 8th place at the end of this 15 minutes is going to basically be able to start on pole for the feature event here tonight.
Wow, that 15 minutes sure went by fast.
It did. Yeah, I mean, this is a fun track. This is definitely one of my favorite tracks, and it does seem well suited to this vehicle, or these cars, I should say, the touring cars. Just their ability to be able to, eat and bang, and I just love it. It lends itself well to the road Atlanta style of racing here, and what a fun track. I mean, what I've heard, we have some people in the Sunday Night Skippy League that have actually raced this before, and the one thing that they've said is the hills. You don't get the sense of just how large the hills on this track are in iRacing, but like you literally lose. You get that light feeling in your stomach going across the top of some of these hills sometimes. It's just how dramatic they are. And yeah, it's just what a fun track. And these guys are definitely putting on a show.
Well, it's true. And, if you're in the garage area, not in the pit lane, but in the garage area to the left of the start-finish line here, up front, you just look up that turn 1 hill. It's massive looking. It looks steep. It looks like a mountain when you're there in real life. It doesn't really come across in the sim in the same way. Definitely a spectacle if you ever get a chance and you haven't been. It's a great place to go.
Well, like we said, we're gonna re-rack, restack, and Logan McKenzie's gonna start on the pole with teammate Slug just behind him. Don't know. I don't think those are actual crashes. I'm getting some indication of crashes, but I think that may have been just the slow starts to the race here. But yeah, we got a full lap to go once more. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anybody that's like really no. I think my eyes this time are going to be back there at Chaz Weber in the 5 car back in P24. I want to see what he's got. Very fast driver, trying to work his way up, and really any of the drivers who maybe just had an off track or unfortunate circumstances. I think Aaron Law also there in P29, starting at the way back here this time around.
Yep.
Yeah, these guys have some work to do going into the
top 10
race.
driver in this league, and so he has the speed. And
Yep.
David Bauer also had an unfortunate got wrecked out in the first lap in the first sprint. So these are all drivers who will be desperate to get some points this time around.
Absolutely.
Well, Logan McKenzie, talking about season standings, is our season standings P1 holder right now, and he's the beneficiary of the top 4 inversion for this sprint, and will set the start of this race.
Yeah, honestly, probably pretty happy to walk out with P4 points there in the first heat race and start on the pole here for this second heat race. That being said, he's going to have his work cut out for him if he actually does well, because for the feature race, he'll be back there in starting in P8. But clearly, he's got some pace here. He's taking his time. as they come around the final turn, or complex of turns here, I should say. The pace car is off. We're getting ready to go, and he's going to just gun it right there, coming around that sweeping right-hander. And we are green flag racing once again. Slugnificent are just behind him, and they're going 2x2 with Jorge and Jerome just behind for third position. And oh my goodness, Francois Schenk right there, able to stay out of the fray.
We'll want to see if all the drivers can manage to survive turn 5. Oh, and we do have someone having gone off. That is Brandon Shelton on the downhill. But as we look through now turn 5 and see if other drivers are able to get through in one piece. And it looks like they do this time. So congrats to all the drivers.
Good stuff. We've got a couple battles all throughout the field, man. I cannot even keep track of this. It does look like Brandon Sheldon is going to eventually tow here. Unfortunate there
Yeah, it looks
for
like
that 24 car.
Yeah, Brandon Shelton and Jonathan Bear coming down the hill just got into each other's doors, and Brandon got knocked a little bit off course and into the wall.
We got a battle for the lead here with Slug and Logan. These are our teammates, so it does look like Logan, mainly just kind of letting it go through there, more or less. But Jorge Zuniga is waiting in the wings, looking for an opportunity to stick his nose in there as well.
Oh, and Chaz Weber has gone off out of the chicane. I don't think he's damaged, but he's fallen to the back of the field.
Oh, and Logan and Jorge are making contact there up and over the hill, going down into the turn 5 complex there. Man,
are out.
Yeah.
I think Jorge Zuniga is now the new naked aggression driver here.
Yeah, I would say so, man. He's getting after it tonight there. Slug kind of walking away a little bit, but all these drivers
we have
hungry.
our first turn 5 victim for this sprint. Cody Hunley has gone off in turn 5, and it looks like his car is still in good shape, so he's back on track, but now he's back with Chaz Weber in the back of the field.
In P11, Ray Bartnikowski is dragging Wiley Cox, I believe that is.
And
Nope.
August Blondell.
August Blondell, yep.
Yeah.
Along with him, past Wiley Cox, or trying to at least, as they brake heavily down there into turn 10. And he's going to go wide. Wiley Cox going a little bit wide there, unfortunately. Just broke a little late, and he's going to be losing 3, 4, maybe even 5 positions here.
It's so easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, meanwhile, back up front, the Slug has managed to pull out a little bit of a gap, or a second and a half, to Jorge Zuniga. Jorge Zuniga still being followed closely by Logan McKenzie, Francois Schick, and Jerome Bajulas. But the Slug seems to have taken control of this second heat very early on. This is just lap 3.
Well, for any Ray Bartnikowski fans out there, he had just made some great moves on that last lap. Unfortunately, going off track on the first part of the course, and he's going to get passed by Alexander Carver-Robbins, Gurkin Demir, as they make their way onto the back stretch. A little further up there, Francois Schenk in P4. He's up 2 spots. However, Jerome looked like he was going to go to the inside of that turn 10 complex. Thinks better of it, but now they're going to make contact. And again, I don't know. These cars are inside one another. Clearly, my iRacing is not supportive of whatever the heck is going on here.
No, it's not just you. I'm seeing the same thing.
I don't know what
some sort of melding of the melting together of metal of these cars.
I mean, bold moves here, and just now Wojciech and Jerome going side by side, which is very, very difficult to do. It does look like Jerome's going to take out some of the cones as James Carr makes the move to the, I guess technically the outside there, or trying to make it to the outside of Wojciech. Not going to work. Drivers all get sorted out.
Boy, this battle for P11, Gurkan Demir, August Blundell, Alexander Carver-Robbins, they are just
love it.
Nose tail, yeah. And, it just, what's interesting is, Gurkan seems to be a little bit faster, just a touch faster in the more technical sections of the course. But then in these high-speed sections and under braking, the other two, August and Alexander Carver-Robbins, seem to just have a little bit better braking. And I don't know if they're in different cars. Here we see on the straight, we see August Blundell, in fact.
Oh, man.
Just see that speed differential on the straights. Could be different setups, but that back and forth.
Three wide.
Oh, we're going to go 3 wide again. And that is going to allow Gurkan Demir to take advantage and regain that position.
Yeah, Justin Rhodes also take advantage of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have also a great battle.
Oh! Alexander Carver-Robbins is going to get into Justin Rhodes. Justin Rhodes off the track there on that turn 1 right-hander. He will get the car collected. No contact made, but that's going to kill a lot of his momentum. Unfortunate stuff for the 84 car, but yeah, it looks like no necessarily worse for the wear. Back in P 17, 18, I guess maybe 19. We're going to go probably 3 wide here with Dom Savio, Sean Gerd, Aaron Law, Andrew Little, 2x2. On to the long back stretch here. Oh, and they're going to make contact. That's going to be Aaron Law.
Wow, that'll be one for the stewards to look at, and it's just so easy to happen. You're so anxious on the exit of turn 7 to get as good a launch as possible for this long back straight, and stuff like that is just prone to happen when you're that close together.
Absolutely, they're side by side, just ahead of them there for P23. Oh my goodness, David Bauer making a huge move there. Really well executed. Trying to make that pass there on Jonathan Baer. As he goes, Jonathan Baer's going to go down pit road, so that's probably unscheduled. I don't think that's necessarily required for the 15-minute heat race here, but Aaron Law also making a power move there. But Cody Hunley's going to come right back for that 24th spot.
Oh, looks like Aaron Law had a major off coming down the hill, the roller coaster in turn 3. No damage. He's back on track.
Well, lucky number P13 here, Ray Bartnikowski, up 4 spots right now, makes the move on Alexander Carver-Robbins, but Robbins going to have a great exit off of turn 7 onto this long back stretch here. And it does look like that's going to be a dead even heat, drag race all the way down. Who's going to give first in this braking zone for turn 10?
Boy, you just have a long time to think about this as you come in.
Yeah.
Well, also right behind JB Dejoux and Wiley Cox, Sean Gerd. That trio is also just coming through that same turn 10 complex, and that trio fighting for P16, I think has been also going back and forth. And what happens is you see sometimes 2 of the cars will bump, have to lift, lose a little bit of momentum. That allows the third car to, in this case, Wiley Cox, to get a little bit of an advantage.
Well, we also see Ronald Methot, Cody Hunley, and Alex Carver-Robbins coming down pit road now. So a lot of drivers opting to go down pit road. I'm 100% sure what the deal is there, but
I wonder if there was a fueling restriction that
Hmm.
has caused this. That maybe we'll be able to ask someone after the race if we get a chance to interview them.
yeah, this is definitely one of the disadvantages of streaming. We do not have the pit road reporters available to us to be able to ask those questions. But I'll tell you what, Francois Schenk in P5 has some absolutely hot competition from Jerome Bajulaz and James Carr. Nick Beaver holding on the tail end of this pack of 4. And this is going to be that battle. So right now, Nick Beaver at the tail end of this group, he is on the, pole basically for the feature race if he maintains that position. Now, I'm sure that you want to make sure you get those points championship-wise. Try to get as many positions as you can. However, man, what a boon that would be to be able to start the next race off on the top spot.
Absolutely. And really, in this heat, finishing anywhere in this top 8 is just really great. And, you'll, the way the point structures go, you'll have a chance to get an outsized reward for a good finish in the feature if you're able to finish in the top 8 and start in the top 8 in the next, in the feature.
Yeah, and these drivers are really putting on a show here, I'll tell you what. And all 4 of these drivers just kind of nose to tail here. Well, let's take a look. Also putting, just kind of in the front of the pack here, Jerome Bajulaz trying to make a move on Francois Schenk, although James Carr looked like he may have been trying to take a position away from Jerome. Ends up at the tail end of the pack when all is said and done, though, going through that chicane. Oh, and you're gonna make contact.
Ooh.
Man, he's just pushing. He's pushing James Carr is pushing Nick Beaver up that hill and then back down the hill. James Carr now in that 8th position, that coveted 8th spot. So I do wonder. Oh, they're gonna make contact again, man. James Carr is just on a mission here.
And honestly, that has to be one of the most dangerous spots for contact for both cars. That's that turn 5 left-hander, but they both managed to survive and maintain their momentum. And if anything, they are closing up the gap a little bit up to Jerome Bajulaz and Francois Schenk ahead of them.
Well, back in P16, we've got a move here from Sean Gerd on Andrew Little, or an attempted move there. It looked like he was going to go to the inside. Does not get the run that he wanted, so Dom Savio is going to look to the inside there off a corner exit, and it's going to be, once again, a drag race. If he was just blinking in and out of existence for me, at least. It'll be a drag race down there, down into turn 10. Dom Savio,
dusk. It's now dusk here in virtual Atlanta.
Yeah, the headlights are actually. Earlier we saw some headlights flashing, which I know is Pim's favorite.
We'll have to ask Pim, which of these touring cars has the best headlights?
Keep turning everything off just to make sure that I can focus. We have some issues with the stream. I am not sure. I actually don't know. I think they're all very very similar. Although I wouldn't go for the Audi. I think that has the smallest one. But how does George? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, P5. It's probably a little late now, but we got some headlight blinking going on here. Jerome Bajulaz giving Francois Schenk the business with the headlights. And this one's going to be interesting. We are coming up now 14 and a half minutes. So this time by should be the white flag, I imagine. Let's see, where are the leaders? Oh, no. This might be...
This might be it.
This might be the last...
on when they cross start finish line. It'll be very close. Very close.
Yeah, the leaders there. Yeah, I got Slug coming around the final turn. It looks like he's going to extend this race by a lap.
That's right. Yep. With 8 seconds to spare, so we have an extra lap in the race.
Love it. Love it.
So you can see this race is faster because we're getting an 11th lap. The previous 15-minute sprint was only 10 laps. Wow. And you know, this is always a funny situation, don't you think, Chris? We should look back here at the battle for P5. Francois Schenk, Jerome Bajolas, Nick Beaver. They continue to be just covered by this blanket. And, you know, I was just going to say, you know, the slug crossing the start-finish line, of course, with 8 seconds, he couldn't stop, you know, and wait 8 seconds. But, you know,
yeah,
you always have to wonder if it's an advantage if you're in the lead to extend the race by an extra lap like this.
Well, they're going to be going to battle here. I'll tell you what, Francois Schenk leading this P5 battle. Jerome Bajolas looking like he's going to go down to the inside. We also have a battle for P17, which we don't need to look at right now. We'll come here after we figure out what's going to happen. They're going to make contact.
P1 is a drag race to the start-finish line. They're bumping doors. Jorge Zuniga and the slug. Let's see. I actually didn't see who crossed start. It looks like the slug is being given the heat win.
And then further back here, Pim, P16. This is going to be your next closest battle. Dom Savio leading, Eric Statzer, Andrew Little, David Bauer, Aaron Law. I mean, these guys are just going toe to toe.
What happened with Jorge Zuniga? Zuniga. Okay, so it looks like there was an incident, but Jorge Zuniga did cross start-finish line first, and ends up being the winner of this first heat.
Well, we've got we got a few minutes here to reset, but basically what I'm showing is that Jerome Bajolas is going to start on pole, followed by James Carr, Nick Beaver, Francois Schenk, Logan McKenzie, Wojciech Swirdovich, Slug, and then Jorge, the winner of that last heat race. So we're going to invert the top 8, and we're going to race for 30 minutes this time. I think there will be a green flag. Well, there's no yellow flags here, but certainly one pit stop to be had. So that is going to also add to the drama. All right, let's since we have a 10-minute warm-up here, let's take a small break. Everybody go grab the either adult beverage or drink of your choice, and we'll meet back here. Can't wait to watch the feature race here at the CAVOK Racing Network. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back, race fans. We are super excited to get this feature race underway. The sun is going down here at Virtual Road Atlanta as we tick down the final warm-up opportunity for these drivers as they head into a 30-minute feature race. And we're going to invert the top 8 from the results of the last heat race, which we're still a little unclear on who that is. I guess we'll find out. All of our overlays are telling us something different, but the proof will be in the pudding, as they say, once we start gridding here. The session is over, so we will have an opportunity to see what our final grid is going to be.
Yeah, and I do have to say, sorry, Chris, we were just looking at the Constellation results. Mine has changed as well into the Slug. So I think we all agree that the Slug won that lap, and Wojciech Swiatovic was on the second. And that is a little bit weird that Zuniga really went up to the 14th place. So maybe there was a penalty or anything like that. But the sun is going down, the moon is going up, and I think we're ready for our last race.
Indeed, we are. It's virtual time. It's 8:50 p.m. in Atlanta on this beautiful May 15th virtual day. And Jacob Wally, having been awarded P8 in that second heat, is getting to be the pole position car for this feature race.
Long ago, somebody left with a cup. All right, here we go. Yeah, Jacob Wally, Jerome Bajulaz, they're going to be your starting front row. We're going to do one caution lap here, formation lap, if you will, to get the grid going. Nick Beaver, James Carr, Logan McKenzie, Francois Schenk, The Slug, Wojciech Swiatovic, August Blondel, Matt Shepka, Ray Bartnikowski, Matt Shepka, Gurkan Demir, Wiley Cox. They're all moving around now. I can't even see who's who. Sean Gerd, Eric Setzer, Aaron Law, Spencer Cockane, Justin Rhodes, Jorge Zuniga, who is starting all the way back in... Why is Jorge all the way back there? I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out. Andrew Little, Chaz Weber, Justin Rhodes, Jonathan Bear, Josh Wally, Jonathan Bear. Did I already say his name? JB DeJoe, D. Cody Hunley, David Bauer, Ronald Methot. And we do have a couple drivers down still in pit road. Does not look like they have taken the grid. So that's going to be where we start. And here we go, 30 minutes. Looks like we're going to have a green flag pit stop on the books. And man, I'll tell you what, this isn't a particularly difficult pit road necessarily. Nice entrance, I would say there, Peter. I don't know if there's anything crazy about it, but as we've seen in all of the leagues that we cover, pit entry and exit and time on pit road, that can be a deal breaker for a lot of these drivers.
Absolutely right, Chris. And actually, while the pit entry isn't too dramatic here, the pit exit empties out right at the top of the hill after turn 1 and that turn 2 peak. And so we've seen plenty of incidents, oftentimes just miscommunication between the driver exiting the pits and someone just approaching that turn 2 entry point. I have to say, these cars look just awesome. The liveries lit up by headlights at night. It's going to get darker and darker. It's just about coming up on 9 p.m. virtual time here in Atlanta.
Yeah, love the way that this league does that. We've seen a lot of night racing. We went night racing at Laguna Seca as well, which was an adventure and a half. And here we are at Road Atlanta once again. So, man, super fan of that. And here we go. We're coming around the final turn, being right-hander, turn 12, start finish line. Jacob Wall is going to take us to the green flag, and we're going to already go. No, we already got contact just behind him. We're going to go 3 wide a couple times over. It does look like all the drivers are going to get it sorted out, though. Holy cow.
Plenty of pushing and shoving.
Oh, and we got a John Gerd
going
sideways
Gerd, yeah.
as they go up the hill. Yep.
Boy, the car is just very lightweight there as you're crushing over the hill. Easy to happen. Turn 5. Again, we've seen in both sprints how treacherous this is. Let's see these cars tiptoe through on this first lap. Looks like all drivers safely through.
Oh man, who is that in P4? James Carr.
It's Carr, yeah.
Really trying to save it. Yeah. Oof.
And he does, but
That
he's
really
falling way down the order. Down all the way to P18. Disastrous for James on this first lap.
Well, we're going to go battling here for the lead down into that first attempt at the chicane here in the feature race. And right now, Jake Wally still leading the pack. Chrome and Nick just behind him. So these drivers are really looking for an opportunity to make their way around. A lot of draft action here. We're going to take a left-hander for turn 1 and then up the hill. We've seen some passing opportunities through this complex of turns. Are they going to try to take advantage of it? We will see.
Now the drivers can be a little bit more patient here. It's 30 minutes, there's a pit stop. You don't need to get it all done in the first 15 minutes like you did in those 2 sprints. But I can't say we've seen a whole lot of patience from these drivers so far. And we'll see what happens in the future.
I want to give a shout out too to John Lozano out there letting us know that Jorge may have had a black flag for the contact and whatnot. That's why we may see him further down the field trying to work his way back up there on that second heat race. Other than that, man, look at this battle for P17.
Oh, it looks like
David
Nick
Bauer.
Beaver has gone off in turn 7.
Oh no!
I don't believe damage is back on track. Oh, and in turn 10 we've got some off tracks. Again, no damage that I can see. Everyone's safely through. But we are seeing lots of contact, pushing, shoving as they come around. I'm just sorry to not call out. There's Matt Shupka, as well as Nick Beaver has fallen back. Ray Bartnikowski involved. There's just so much action going on. It's a little bit hard to keep track here.
I know. There are a lot of passing attempts here. It looks like Jonathan Bearer also has crashed. I'll try to take a look and see what happened there.
Joshua Wally also is now in the pit lane, probably for some repairs.
Oh, Jonathan Bearer just getting a little slightly loose there on the chicane, turn 10 chicane. Not too bad, though. We still got a lot of drivers really, really closely knit together here. Jacob Wally able to pull out to a 0.6 second lead, which isn't much, but certainly about as comfortable as a lead as we've seen. Just behind him, he's got Francois Schenk and Wojciech Swirdowicz, Slug, and Logan McKenzie, though, in hot pursuit.
I'm keeping a little bit of an eye on James Carr to see if he can recover from that big off track on lap 1. He's right now in P18 and right behind David Bauer and Andrew Little. Chaz Weber right behind him. We'll keep one eye on James Carr to see if he's able to make progress to recover.
We got a battle for the lead here. Wojciech's going to set the purple lap of the evening, take the lead over. But look at this. We're going to go 3 wide, maybe. Nope, 2 wide. Up the hill, down the hill. Drivers will get it sorted single file here as they head down to the left-hander in turn 5. But Wojciech really just taking his time, able to be patient and get around the leader. Looks like he's going to have a heck of a lead going down the backstretch here after turn 6 and the right-hander turn 7.
Driver we haven't talked too much about so far is Gurkan Demir in P6. Gurkan Demir just battling like crazy with Nick Beaver right behind him. and chasing down Logan McKenzie for P5 right front. And so, you get a sense that if Gherkin can stay safe with all that battling ahead of them with Jacob Wally, the slug, Francois Schink, he might have a chance here to make up some good ground.
We got a shakeup at the front of the pack here. Slug went off track. So did Wojciech. Let's try to take a look and see what happened there. Looks like Slug got into the left rear quarter panel of Wojciech, and just the rest of the field stacked up. That's going to let everybody else go by.
And just as we were saying, Gherkin Demir now suddenly finds himself in P3 behind Nick Beaver and Logan McKenzie.
I mean, there you go. Anything can happen.
Wow. And so now we do have Logan McKenzie and Nick Beaver up front. They're in a battle for that lead, and then Gherkin Demir being chased by Jacob Wally for that third position. Francois Schink trying to catch up with them. Jorge Zuniga finds himself now all the way up to P6, having started in P14, and Matt Shepka in P7. We were talking to Matt Shepka. I think Matt is Pim's favorite driver. And Matt was really hoping to score a top 10 finish in this feature, and so far it's looking good, holding on P7.
Absolutely, 100%. I think he's got this one in the bag. A little bit, I mean, with that shakeup at the front, we were going to have some very fast drivers trying to work their way around. It looks like, look at this, Chaz Weber, Wojciech Swirdovich, going to go side by side for P18 now. Further back in the field, and Ronald Methot, who is tied for the hard charger award. Ronald's up 13 spots right now ahead of Wojciech, and joining him is David Bauer up there in P13, up 13 spots total. But yeah, having a great race so far. He has got a very fast driver though on his rear bumper.
Indeed, I think Ronald is doing well. He's running a strong line, not looking necessarily defensive, just trying to run fast, and is holding that position over Wojciech Swirdovich. And then right behind them, Chaz Weber is being hounded by Cody Hunley. Cody, we haven't talked about too much, but Cody's up 4 spots from where he qualified, and that's a great battle for P19. Oh, it looks like we do have a turn 4 incident. That is Joshua Wally. I don't think he suffered any damage, back on track, but that will allow the slug to get past him.
We got a battle for the lead going down into turn 10 here. Nick Beaver looks like he might be able to try to make a move. And Logan McKenzie, he's going to go to the inside on this left-right complex. Going to be able to pull it off. Nick Beaver, now your race leader. Over Logan McKenzie, Jacob Wally, Gherkin Demir up 7 spots in P4, and Jorge Zuniga up 9 spots there, back into that 5th position.
It's impressive just how tight all this battling just remains, and it's just a real testament to how good these drivers are. They can hold it together like this. It looks like Chaz Weber got into an incident. He seems to have lost several positions, now running in P20 behind now Cody Hunley.
Oh man, they go way wide on that turn 5. Love to see it. They're just trying to get every single little bit of ounce of performance out of these cars. A little bit further up there, I think that's Justin Rhodes trying to hold off Cody Hunley.
Yeah, and Ronald Methot is really being pressured by Justin Rhodes. We know
there
Justin
you go.
Rhodes.
Yeah, that's who I meant. Ronald Methot. Yeah. That went off there.
Week after week, we do see Justin Rhodes just making some really brave passing maneuvers. He's trying on the outside here. He's going to tuck in behind as they go into the turn 10 chicane. But he is sticking right on Ronald Method's bumper. And then, of course, right behind them is Cody Hunley.
Great stuff. Aaron Law's going to come down pit road. He's going to be your first, pulling the Jake Ashe there, your first pit stopper. So let's keep an eye on that. And when people decide to pit, yeah, this is your closest battle that you got right now. Ronald Method in P16. He's up 14 spots right now. Justin Rhodes, Cody Hunley, great racing. The top 5, or I guess, top 5 continue to be, under a very large, we'll call it a large beach blanket. So not necessarily all together, but certainly within striking distance of one another. And the pit stop is going to basically separate these drivers. Execution here is going to be paramount.
Another driver that's up a few spots, Ray Bartnikowski, is running in P8, up 4 spots. But he's got August Blondell in his draft. August is going to try to go on the outside in turn 10.
This Jorge Zuniga now up to P4 after making the pass on Gurkin Demir. He's up 10 spots after the last heat race there, dropping all the way down. So really just starting to pick his way through the field. He's got Jacob Wally 0.8 seconds ahead of him now as the next driver. But look at this. Also, Francois Schenk just behind them. And a little further back, Ray Bartnikowski and August Blondell battling for P8. Nose to tail there.
It almost looks like Jorge Zuniga is driving angry here. And so, we're getting word that he did receive some sort of penalty after that second heat, which dropped him to P14. He's definitely trying to work his way up and show that he's a podium driver here.
P15 there, checking back in with Ronald Method. This is going to be a battle. We got Wojciech Swirdowicz just ahead of them, but Ronald Method, Justin Rhodes, Andrew Little, Cody Hunley, Chaz Weber. This group of drivers has found each other, and they are really going to town. Look at this, Justin Rhodes and Andrew Little. Oh, I thought Andrew Little might try to peek out to the inside. Yep, he's going to look. Nope, never mind. He's going to file it back in single file. That being said, Cody Hunley might try to look to the inside on the, nope. It's a good corner.
And there's a great battle for P20 between Dom Savio and JB Dejoux. And JB Dejoux did just outbrake Dom Savio coming into that turn 10 chicane and is now in that P20. But they need to watch out because Jerome Bajulas is rapidly catching up to them. Now, and in fact, Dom Savio has decided to come in for his pit stop.
Well, unfortunately for Cody Hunley, you got to go back and look at that with him. Super unfortunate going across the start-finish line. We were just looking at them battling through the turn 10 complex, and he caught a lot of that inside wall there. Cody Hunley did. Unfortunate.
Back up front, this battle for P3. Jacob Wally in P3, but Jorge Zuniga is now coming side by side as they're coming in to this turn 10. Jacob Wally's trying to run a defensive inside line, but it looks like he's going to be outbraked by Jorge Zuniga. Jorge Zuniga now up 11 spots and into P3.
Just checking it off one by one here, but this battle is not over by a long shot. Francois Schenk just behind them is going to dive down into pit road. So he'll be your next fuel taker there.
In fact, we're seeing quite a few takers now. August Blondell, Eric Statzer also diving into the pits. Just a quick update. Meanwhile, back up front, Nick Beaver and Logan McKenzie continue to just run pretty safely, nose to tail. And looks like we do have an incident. Not too
Jonathan
sure.
Bear?
Yeah, Jonathan Bear, unfortunately in turn 5. Turn 5 has claimed another victim.
You're 100% Justin Rhodes and Ronald Method on P12. So Ronald Method's has his hands full this entire race here. They're going to work their way around turn 7 down to the backstretch, but they're going to go side by side for P12. Ronald Method now up 18 spots as he takes P12 away. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be coming down pit road this time by, it sounds like, on race radio. So he's having an absolutely great run here. Like I said, up 18 spots in P12. Come down pit road and separate himself from the pack. Curious to see what he can do with that. Gherkin Demir, Wiley Cox, David Bauer also down pit road.
Justin Rhodes following Ronald Method into the pits. And I'm sure they'll be continuing that battle as they emerge from the pits. We have 13 minutes remaining in this race. And so now we are getting into sprint territory, just like we had in the first 2 sprints. Darkness has really fallen. This pit lane, this is a dark pit lane, don't you think, Chris?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. That's actually a great point. I don't know that, I don't remember the last time that I had to come down pit road in the dark there, so good on them. Not a super difficult pit road like we were talking about earlier, but when the lights are off, maybe it is. We got James Carr, Ray Bartnikowski. That's a battle for P6 right now. Of course, these drivers still have to come down pit road, so that might fall just a little bit. But it does look like, nope. They're both coming down.
Race leaders now in the pits. Nick Beaver, Jorge Zuniga, Jacob Wally, Matt Shepka, James Carr, Ray Bartnikowski, Wojciech Swierdowicz, all in the pits.
Party on pit road under the easy ups there. Love it. Cannot wait to see how this all shakes out. Let's see. JB Dejoux, your only driver who has not pit. He's coming across the start-finish line. So it does look like, oh no, he's not even going to take the lead there. It does look like Logan McKenzie and Jerome Bachelas are going to make it out ahead of him.
Wow, and so Jorge Zuniga and Nick Beaver are really lost positions. They come out of the pits now in P6 and P7, Matt Shepka in P8. Logan McKenzie, Jerome Berjulis, Gherkin Demir come out of those pit stops in positions 1, 2, and 3. Jacob Wally and Francois Schink in positions 4 and 5.
Huh. Yeah, my overlay here is doing some weird things, so I do apologize if I say some weird things, but going a little bit back and forth, unfortunately. Right now, it does look like everybody has pit, so this is going to be the running order go down into the final stretch. We are approaching the 20-minute mark. Oh, and we've got Jonathan Bear off track again.
Jerome Berjulis.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, looking at the pit times, Jerome with a 6-second pit stop. That's going to be interesting. I guess also Gherkin has 9.3. Jacob Wally has 8.92. Magnificent had 7.42, but he's back down pit road. But yeah, by a long shot, Jerome has gained a lot of spots there, back to his P2 starting position. But I mean, I'd be shocked if he had enough fuel to finish this race out there.
Well, I think the really interesting battle right now on the track is the battle for P2 between Jerome Bajulis and Gurkan Demir. And, it just looks like Gurkan has just been hunting down that P2 position for a while once he got up to P3. And you just wonder if Gurkan is just showing some patience here. He seems to have pace over Jerome Bajulis, but just looking for that opportunity to get past. Jerome running a nice defensive line, comes back to the outside as they go through the turn 10 chicane. You can really see just a little bit of compromised line from Jerome Bajulis that allows Gurkan Demir to close up right up to Jerome's bumper. But it makes his car extremely wide, very hard to pass.
Yeah, you can tell that this is definitely one of those tracks where slow and fast out, coming out to one of those long straightaways is your best opportunity to make a pass. It does look like Gurkan's just kind of biding his time right now.
A quick update on that battle between James Carr and Ray Bartnikowski for P10. James Carr is in P10, but Ray Bartnikowski has been closing up, especially on the long straights. And so we'll be keeping an eye on that. And ahead of them, we have Wojciech Swiridowicz chasing down Matt Shepka for P8. And so again, we're keeping tabs on whether Matt Shepka can make good on his desire to finish top 10.
We got side-by-side racing there for P2. We were talking about Gurkan waiting for his moment. Well, this might be it. Let's see if he can make it happen. Down into turn 10.
And
It does appear that he will. Jacob Wally. Oh, Jacob Wally going off track just behind them, but not too badly. Jerome gonna go down pit road. It does look like that 6-second pit stop isn't gonna cut it. So he's gonna go back down pit road.
Wow. That is puzzling. And so you have to wonder what that was all about. On my steering wheel, I have a button, which basically tells the pit crew to stop refueling, just in case I want to do things a little faster. And I remember one race, I did hit that button by accident. You have to wonder.
And you're like, no. Go back to it. Yeah, you can't just yell out your window, unfortunately,
Nope.
right?
Well, so now...
guys.
Yep. So we do have a pretty set lead here. Logan McKenzie, and Logan has about a 2-second lead over Gurkan Demir, and Gurkan Demir himself has about a 2-second lead over Jacob Wally, and that's your P1, 2, and 3. Behind them, though, is a pitched battle between Jorge Zuniga and Nick Beaver, and I cannot tell you who's ahead of whom there for that 4th position.
Does look like Nick's gonna make the move. Jorge backing off the throttle there just a little bit to make sure they go single file through turn 10, and he might actually have a pretty good run there. They're gonna come down the hill across this right-hand sweeper over the start-finish line, start the next lap, and see if Jorge's got the patience or if he's gonna make the move. Nope. Yeah, he's gonna back it out. Let's see, there's actually quite a few. We haven't checked in with Ronald Methot in a while. He's up 14 spots, but he's got Justin Rhodes in hot pursuit as they go across the start-finish line. Oh, and they're going to make contact. Look at that. Nice little broadcaster's curse.
Oh, and it looks like Ronald Methot got the worst of that, although that wasn't great for either driver. It does look like Justin Rhodes will be back on track, trying to stay safe. There's lots of traffic coming behind, but Ronald Methot is looking probably fairly damaged, and in fact is in the midst of a tow.
Yeah, unfortunate break there for those
That,
drivers.
that was 100% on you, Chris. I had nothing to do with that.
I know, I get it. That's on me. You can. Just taking the cones along with him back down to the pit road there. Excellent job. Love it. Let's take a look at Matt Shepka in P9. Look at this, Ray Bartnikowski and David Bauer. These three are going to make it a good race. All under a blanket, under a handkerchief, if you will. David Bauer up 15 spots right now. He's your hard charger. He's at the back of this threesome right now, but trying to make that 17 spots up if he can.
We don't have to move the camera here, but just a quick update. Logan McKenzie is really just starting to run away with the race. He's now almost 4 seconds clear of Gurkan Demir in P2.
Well, Andrew Little, Justin Rhodes, both down pit road. And I think that's about it. I mean, this battle for P9 is about as close as we're going to get. I guess a little bit behind them, we've got Wiley Cox, Stasser, Aaron Law, who are starting to make contact with one another. That's going to be the battle for P12. But as soon as I say that, let's look back up at David Bauer trying to make the move on Ray Bartnikowski. They're going down that back stretch, down into the heavy braking zone of turn 10. Is Ray going to back out? Who's braver? Nope, they're both making that work though through the chicane.
Yeah, Ray defending that line, taking that outside entry into that turn 10 chicane. That gives you the inside position on the next few corners. And Ray's taking full advantage of that.
Oh, Ray gets it a little bit loose. Able to save it, but that's going to give David Bauer the easy pass there.
Does look like Spencer Parkane has crashed out of turn 4 and is trying to find a way back on track. Had to let a lot of traffic go by in order to re-enter safely.
Well, we're inside of 2 minutes to go here on the feature race, so I think, let's see, where's the leader? Where's Logan McKenzie? I think we're going to get the white flag the next time by, I believe.
I think you're right.
Back there on the, going down into the turn 10 chicane. But we do have some great battling going on beside that, so this is going to be everybody's last opportunity to try to make some moves. P4, Nick Beaver has Jorge Zuniga hot on his tail as they cross the start-finish line as well. They're actually kind of starting to make up time there on Jacob Wally for P3, so this may not even be a battle for P4 when all's said and done.
Indeed. I think Jorge Zuniga and Nick Beaver are closing up rapidly on Jacob Wally. Jacob probably just trying to stay safe and hold on that last podium spot, but maybe playing it a little bit too safe. We'll have to see how this goes. Oh, Ray Bartnikowski has gone off track in turn 3. I don't think we need to put the camera there, but didn't hit anything, back on track. Re-entering in P15.
Yeah, Nick Beaver, man, this is going to be a great race to the line. Logan McKenzie with a very comfortable lead, but you know who doesn't is Jacob Wally, because here we go down the back stretch into turn 9, right-hander, sweeping the right-hander into the turn 10 chicane. Does look like Nick Beaver is going to be able to make that pass, but can he make it stick? A little bit of contact, and actually that's going to put Jacob Wally way off the line. Jorge Zuniga is going to sneak past there, and that's going to be how they finish, coming across the final turn 12 right sweeper.
Wow.
Great job there.
Yeah. Nick Beaver,
And that's
Gurkin Demir, and Logan McKenzie, and that's the top 3. Followed by Jorge Zuniga in P4, Jacob Wally, Francois Schink, Wojciech Rizovich, James Carr, Matt Shupka gets his top 10 finish in P9, David Bauer in P10.
Well, the only battle I've got left on the track here is Andrew Little in P20 and August Blondell in P21. August trying to close the gap here going down into turn 10. He can make a brave move. He's flashing his headlights. He's going to make that move to the inside. Not going to make it stick, though. Can he get the exit out of 11? No. Final turn here. He's got to make something happen, use that draft, but that start-finish line is just too close. Not going to make it happen. Love it. Great battling, though.
Oh, fantastic racing all up and down the field. And so that means that your second 10 are Wiley Cox, Aaron Law, Eric Statzer, Chaz Weber, Jerome Bajulis finishes in P15, The Slug in P16, JB DeJoux, Sean Gerd, Andrew Little, August Blondell in P20. And then finally we have Ray Bartnikowski, Dom Savio, Justin Rhodes, Cody Hunley, Spencer Cockane, Ronald Method, Joshua Wally, and Jonathan Bear. Drivers, I think not starting this feature, Brandon Shelton, Alexander Carver Robbins, Daniel Smith, Chase Kerr, and Jeremy Lepanis.
Great stuff, man. That was a ton of fun. Love these sprint, the heat races, the style that they do. Really kind of mixes it up. Just makes the Alpha Touring Challenge one of the premier leagues in iRacing. Looking forward to seeing if we have any drivers that want to come and join us. But yeah, in the meantime, man, it's been a lot of fun. Great combo here. Road Atlanta, touring cars. If you haven't tried it before, go check it out because that looked like it was just a ton of fun.
Well, we say this, every week that we do this, Chris and Pim. We watch these races and we think, man, we have to get into driving these touring cars. They just look like so much fun to race, so much fun to drive. And you see it just in the adoption of this league. Just great 30, 35 car fields week after week. Just fantastic stuff.
Well, we finally have one taker here, man. Logan McKenzie joining us, walking away with the feature victory with some great lap time, some great consistency. As the sun began to set, especially. So talk to us about what the race was like, what this combo was like for you here at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, that was, Road Atlanta always produces some sweaty racing, but I got a little lucky there with the incident at the start of the feature. I just happened to be the car in line to take the lead, and then again on pit stops, something happened where everyone's crew chief and race labs and their fuel assist programs, including mine, tried to give us all full fuel, and I caught it and guessed correctly. When I came across the line, I had 1 lap of fuel left, so that was why I had such a big cushion coming out of the pits, and that was why I won the race.
That's great stuff, man. Yeah, it's I love the but the implementation of the pit stop, even in the heat racing style that you guys do here, because it just adds another level of strategery to the whole race. But yeah, man, that way to come out with that, you got to be riding high. Any shout outs you want to give? I mean, we saw some great battling going on throughout the field, but yeah, anything that stuck out to you?
Shout out to the guys that were racing me fairly clean. Jerome did a good job racing with me today. Jorge and I came together, but that was just hard racing. We banged doors a little bit. Love Road Atlanta. This is my home track, and now I've won 2 out of the 4 times we've come here, so really excited about that. And shout out to my friends who were in the room with me that were,
Hi, we cheered him on the whole time. It was really fun.
They were in my ear the whole race, so that was just another layer of focus I had to add on to bring them in.
No pressure, right?
Absolutely none.
Love it. Oh man, well that's great. I love family affair. That's what iRacing is all about, and yeah, definitely the Alpha Touring Challenge, man. Well, congrats again on the race win. Awesome to see, and man, yeah, I don't know what else, Peter. Any final thoughts on the race tonight?
Well, I think that this track just seems so great, Logan, for these cars. There is those technical sections, when you're going up and down the hill after turn one. But then we saw an amazing amount of door banging, especially braking into that turn 10 chicane. What were your views? It looked sometimes a lot of elbows out. And you yourself said that you had some contact with Jorge Zuniga. Is that par for the course for this league? It's almost, looks like NASCAR Cup car racing at times.
Par for the course for touring cars in general, really. These cars are a lot sturdier than something like the Skippies, so people are gonna give less room because they know they can kind of bang doors and get away with it. And this track, I don't think it's a stretch to call it one of, if not the toughest track on the schedule from a driver's perspective. If you're following someone, it's easy to screw up that first half of the track, and the last half of the track is just incredibly sweaty heading down to that final chicane, battling for position.
Well, we were saying that, when you're a side-by-side or if someone right on your bumper on that long back straight, you just have so much time to think about what might happen to you.
Yeah, and the chicane's so wide that, there's all kinds of ways to attack and defend. You see a lot of crazy stuff happen.
Right. But it was impressive just to see how you and really everyone you're racing with, just how you handled that. So kudos, and what a great show you all put on.
Yeah, thanks for the broadcast, guys.
Awesome stuff. Well, I want to throw it over to Pim because this is also his hometown track here at Road Atlanta, and I want to know if he thought the action was as good as we did.
The action was good. I do have to say, I'm getting a little bit confused about what happened to iRacing. We do have some issues and was a little bit flickering, so sometimes very difficult to follow. But of course, I'm very happy to see that Logan finally got his first win in this championship. He's been leader, but he hasn't got that one yet. So it's great to do that on a home track. Yeah, it all happens here at CAVOK Racing Network. I think that's clearly what we have. And we have a lot more action coming. I think, isn't the BRL on Sunday having their playoffs again?
Yeah, well, don't forget also we've got Underdog Racing League on Wednesday.
No, we have a bye.
No,
we have a bye week.
Right.
We have a bye week. I have a bye week.
All right.
In my contract, it's clear that I had a bye week.
That's right. We did write that in. No, a very good point. Yeah. So we'll next up is to your point there, Bonfire Racing League Sunday morning. It's going to be the second race of the round of 8 in the playoffs, so we're looking forward to that. And then, of course, as always, our flagship series, Sunday Night Skippy, Sunday night. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Yeah, thanks for watching.